trip?
Back,
Yeah.
fairly uneventful, but it was long. We had, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm just realizing that now that I've got you both on the screen, something's wrong. I've reconnected everything in the office, and that's where I'm broadcasting from, and that's why everything's slightly out of whack at the moment. But we had started at 11 o'clock at night. We had taken off from Anchorage at 10:45 p.m. and got into Phoenix at 5:30 in the morning. Took an Uber over to a friend's house, and then uh, got in a car with her and her two toddlers, Emily and I, five of us, headed across the border and drove for 8 hours down to San Carlos.
Wow.
It was, and I hadn't thought about it until Richard said something, but he's like, you did that at the end of a day because you took off at 10 p.m. You had finished an entire day before you started that
here, Bill.
adventure.
I'm thinking of going into the
Hey, Bill.
computer club.
Hey.
Hey, I'm trying to get you on the screen right now. Things are a little whacked just because I am back in my office. I found the... Here we go.
New hat. What the hell?
It's my French hat. It's Il Capelle du France.
Yeah, but I thought the one you were wearing the other day was a different color.
I had one that was a different color.
Yeah. How many of these you got now?
Say again?
How many of those hats you got?
2, but I left one in Anchorage because I felt like it was such a cold weather cap. It made more sense to.
What you need is one of them with flaps if it's in Anchorage.
It does. It has flaps. I should have pulled it down when we were on. You could have saw. Morning, Cheryl. Good morning, all. I have already hit the streaming button if there's anyone out there on YouTube watching us. This is the San Carlos Computer Club. I am Scott Stimson with International Computer Solutions back in Mexico for our first meeting. Well, not our first meeting of the season. The last few meetings of what I call our season. I start our seasons with our in-person meeting, and that will be on the 7th of October. So this is what I call season 2024-25. We will start 25-26 on the 7th of October. And I don't know if anybody's got this document open, but I'll paste it here in our chat if you wanted to open it up from where you're at. And I've added some stuff here that I thought might be interesting. As always, I'm more interested in what's going on with you guys. I do have a couple of things right at the top, though, besides the Digital Bill of Rights, which we'll always be talking about. Our first in-person meeting I just mentioned will be the first Tuesday of October, which happens to be the 7th of October. I have not talked to Jonathan, so if anybody is in San Carlos and wants to prepare tequilas for our arrival, you could mention it to him. I hope to get over there beforehand because I want to verify that they've got internet and they're ready for us. I also want to verify how many people are in town. I know Jim's been antsy, so he's definitely showing up, but I'm not sure who else is in, because you folks are not. So, Bill, have you come to our club with any topics this morning? You've moved into a new place. Have you been running into any tech issues?
Well, I became unofficial condo IT guy the other day. I went went and hooked up a Wi-Fi for this, I should say, old couple. They're the same age as me. It turns out they had a computer, a laptop they'd been using for years, and it finally cratered on them. They had another one that brand new that they had in a box in the closet that they wanted to hook up, and they opened it up, and it's just like a lot of people. They have no clue. All they know is how to get to the internet and how to get to their mail, and nothing was working. So he took it into Best Buy, and they charged him a couple $100, and they said supposedly cleaned it, and the husband said it's never been on. It's never been used for anything. Cost him a couple $100 for that. And then they told him he wanted the internet hooked up. He says, well, you don't need the internet. You don't need Wi-Fi. It'll just work. All right. So he goes home, can't find it. It's not working. And it turns out, I think, the old computer was hooked up with just a short Ethernet cable, Cat5. And but so they had, and I says, well, what's your router name? Router name? What's a router? Kind of thing. And so I finally figured it out. I turned the router upside down, and I found its original name and the serial number, and I got them hooked up. And the wife was all for paying me for doing this. I said, no. That's not how this works. Anyway, so I was IT guy for half hour.
Congratulations on your IT cap, wearing your white hat.
Well, this is just the one I picked off the shelf this morning. Anyway, I strongly suspect that I might become one of the IT guys around here, because there's a whole lot of people just like them. Never done anything except look at the screen, click on this button, that gives me internet, click on this button, it gives me my mail. That's kind of how it works.
That's
anyway.
Awesome. You might become a fountain of information.
Yeah, right. And I might have to reach way back just to even think about what I'm doing. Because you don't do it often enough to keep going and to stay up with the systems. Anyway, that's my news.
Some of that stuff is, especially in this day and age, some of that is overrated now. I've always felt like it's more having a mindset. You've got that mindset. You'll go out and find the answer to the question.
Yeah.
It's that critical thing.
Well, I've always said that, that I really don't know a whole lot about a lot of things, but I know how to find it.
That's right. Yeah. The valuable thing, where to find the information.
Absolutely. And YouTube is my best friend. I remodeled a whole house using YouTube.
Me too.
That's awesome.
I'm on YouTube many hours during the day.
Yeah. The other thing I've done is I've got there's a recreation room in this complex. It's got 2 pool tables in it, 2 9-ball tables actually, but there's a whole set of guys down there that they play pool several times a week, but they all play snooker. They don't know anything about anything but snooker.
Snooker. Yeah. I don't think I would even be able to in a game of snooker. How does that go? Something significantly different than 8-ball or 9-ball?
Oh God, yeah. An entirely different game.
Different balls.
Different, yeah. Like there's a whole set of a complete set, 15 red balls, but there's also a whole series of colored balls, each with a different value. And you have to make a red ball before you can shoot a colored ball, the ones with the higher points. Anyway, and that's a very, very crude description of snooker. And I haven't played snooker since in 40, 50 years. 40 years, 50 probably.
It's a little larger table, isn't it?
Well, this one isn't. This is a 4.5 by 9, which is the smallest table I've ever seen for snooker. Usually, the minimum is 5 by 10, but the regulation snooker table is 6 by 12. And the reason that you don't play it very often on that table is because they're so big. You got to have all kinds of room to set up a table. It's not easy to have it in a home. It's hard, almost impossible. The rule of thumb is about 5 feet on each side of a table. So you got to add 10 feet on each dimension. So a 6 by 12 is 16 by 22 room. That's what it takes to play snooker in a room. So there you go.
All right. Now, if only that was a tech topic.
Well, it's close to tech. You got angles, you got English, you got all kinds of stuff you got to play with. Go ahead.
Your iPad hasn't worked.
Hey? Oh, yeah, I still haven't got my iPad microphone working, I'm pretty sure. I only think, well, every time I try to log into the club with my iPad, you can never hear me.
That's right.
And then we were trying to talk to Jim Cunningham the other day, and I phoned him on my iPad. I forgot about it, and we were blaming his side for not being able to hear. We could hear him, and he couldn't hear us. So it took a long time before I remembered that my microphone doesn't seem to work well. And I figure it out at this time of the week, every week, and then I forget about it until next week, and I never get around to doing anything about it. So
what's unfortunate that I think there's something wrong with the mic. I don't think it's a setting. I think I think the operating system is intuitive enough in that respect, and you have the ability to recognize what's going on. Not obvious. I think bugging to verify whether the microphone's broken or not.
Well, the point being, the only time I ever think about it is basically on Tuesday morning.
How old is your iPad?
I don't know how many years, dear. 5.
Okay, it's not worth like trying to take apples. But what you might try doing is use the voice recorder and that record.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of different microphones in there, and it might be that one's bad and one's not.
Well, what, 3 years?
Less than 3 years.
3 years ago we bought it, so it's 3 years old. The one thing that does throw you off is like even on my iPhone, if I've got it playing through to my hearing aids, then the hearing aid microphone is the one that takes over. You know, the little the microphones inside the hearing aids. I've talked to and they're terrible when it comes to that. You know, nobody can hear me, but it is working anyway.
In that respect, Bill, you might just adopt some in-ear headphones.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, just for things like the club and things of that nature.
But then when I'm speaking, it really doesn't come through very clearly through those microphones. I know I've hooked up with on this phone with my brother, and they playing through my hearing aid, and he can't hear. He can hardly hear me. The volume's way down. Anyway,
Esther, what do you want to add?
I have Jan sitting here with me.
Hi, Jan.
And she has
Hey, how are you?
Good. It's nice to hear your voice.
Yes, goodness sakes.
She has a special problem with her iPhone. Let me mention that her iPhone came from one of her daughters, and her phone account is with an account with one of her other daughters. But I'll let her tell you her phone has been hacked. So I'll let her describe to you the problems.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. When I say that it's been hacked not to be told to me by anyone except for like my son-in-law that does. I mean, he works in the field and can get in just like you do.
But that's into the computer.
So yes, but he does the same thing. he can get into your computer, is what I'm saying, just like my son-in-law can get into my phone because he does that type of work. But at any rate, the hacking of it is I get texts in my phone from people, or one man that I know of for sure, that is now texting me to my phone, but he's actually getting somebody else. I mean, it's weird.
You also have somebody changing your ringtone all the time.
Yes, my ringtone, I'll change my ringtone, and then within, I'll bet you a week or a week and a half, it's a different ring completely. Something that I probably wouldn't even ever put on there. But I just, would it behoove me, I guess is my question to you, behoove me to take, it's an Apple phone. It's not the latest as today, the one that was before that. That's the model that it is. My daughter gets a new phone every week, not week, every year or two.
I was going to say,
And
for,
so
for
then she
reference,
gives me
the
the new one.
newest one is the 17. They just released 17, like a week ago. So
Okay.
up until this last month, it's 16 latest.
Yes. Okay, so that's the one I have.
Oh, okay. So, are you sure? When did she change phones? Just like within the last month?
Oh no, we changed at least 6 months ago.
Okay, so you've probably got the 15 or the 14.
It has,
okay.
and on the camera, it has 2 lenses, not 3,
Now,
just 2.
yeah, up until recently, I think even the 17, what that indicates is the base model. It's not the pro model.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Well,
that, yeah. So you've probably got a 14 or a 15, and
yeah.
and then it's got a certain capacity as well. I wouldn't know without looking how much
Yeah.
storage it has. But what you're describing almost sounds like your phone's been cleaned. And so
No.
I mean, when a SIM is cloned, and I've never experienced it myself, I've only read about it theoretically. I'm not certain whether that's exactly what's done with you. It does seem possible that you synchronizing your settings, but even that, your phone would have to be the same equipment, get the same. So if you could imagine this scenario where somebody has the same settings you do, regardless of who that is, just some other phone,
Right.
they change something there, and then that gets synchronized up into the cloud, and then your phone settings.
Well, funny that you're saying that, because the other problem that I have is that, I have filled out all my address and whatever so that I don't have to go through that every time. So when I'm going to order something, all I have to do is hit.
Yeah, you've got it sort of
Yeah.
autofill your addresses.
So when I do that now, though, what comes up in my email is not my email. It is somebody else's email in that. Now that's scary.
So,
Well, I was thinking of just turning the phone off and start it back again.
I don't think that would. This
I
has to
don't.
do.
We don't know if that would do any good, but
well,
we couldn't figure out how to turn it off.
yeah. First of all, is it under Apple Care? Does
Yeah.
Apple have some? It is under Apple Care.
Oh, now I don't know, because I don't know what she had. I haven't put anything on it.
Okay, unless she's choosing you to carry that under Apple Care, I bet it's not.
No, I would say not.
And so I think what you want is some help to determine. I like. Well, first of all, let's. What Chester is suggesting is a good thought, because we really don't understand what's going on, and it should be a simple task of reformatting the phone, just resetting it, and then
Well,
following the
We
interview.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. That was my question was, would it behoove me to take it into the Apple store and say, here's what's been happening. Can you check it out and tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I mean it would like as far as the email thing. What I'm thinking is they could verify whether it's pointing to your email or something. They wouldn't be able to tell why it was pointing at somebody else's if that was the case, but that would be a legitimate reason for why you're looking at somebody else's, not your own. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
we're wondering. My phone is an old SE, and I know how to turn it on and off. But this one, we can't figure out how to turn it off and turn it back on.
Yeah, on
The
the
button-
models since the 10, you have to hold down 2 buttons to go into a turn off mode.
Okay, which buttons?
It would be the up volume button and the power button, or the active button. There's the
Okay, how do you turn it back on then?
then you hold. Or I've got an iPhone. And what you would do?
Okay, I just turned it off.
Okay, to turn it on, then you that one single button on the one side. You just do that until the Apple appears.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I would want some help detecting what's going on, so you don't have to reset the phone. Also, if you do reset the phone, you do want to have your Apple credentials, have your Apple username and password. Otherwise,
I know that.
So if you've got that, and I guess I say that assuming that you're using Apple's password manager password, and
Probably not.
at the very least, if you brought it into the Apple store, they could verify that you're syncing and backing up to Apple Cloud, and that restoring the phone would be a trivial thing. That's the only real thing, is that it's not trivial if you don't have a backup.
Okay, so that when I like I said, when I bring up all my information in that my email section of that, the person's name that is in there, or their email address is in there. It says it came from the cloud.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, it should.
Because that's the way it should be, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you could check under settings, you could verify when we go into settings on the iPhone. At the very top, it shows you what Apple accounts being used. You could verify that it's your Apple account used. And if you want to go deeper into it, you could dig down into the email settings. But I would first make sure that it's your Apple account that's being used. Have your full name at the top, and
Basically, I think that's what I want them to tell me. Is this something? Because my son-in-law says this is so rare and so. I don't think it would be so hard for it to be anybody that is into your actual phone. But I just want to know from Apple, I guess, is this anything I need to worry about, or is there somebody that is actually on my, if I'm ordering something, right, then and their email comes up, then they could actually get into what I'm ordering.
Yeah. Have you had a compromising experience recently?
Oh my God!
Within the last 6 months?
Oh my goodness, yes. Scott, I am the worst nightmare for Wells Fargo.
Wait,
because I do a lot of ordering online, and so they tell me that is one of the
but
uh,
essentially all
I
I was
mean,
going to get
I
at is
use
Let him talk.
the that you could, if you've already been compromised recently, then
Mhm.
it could be that your device is still compromised, and in that
Yes,
case, you would be a target. I mean, in your
yes,
phone being able to behave like you, could be a thing. But
yeah, and I'll
I
tell
agree with your you said son-in-law that it's
you,
unlikely. It's the rarest of
yes,
occasions. But if it's
yeah,
already
he's never
happened,
seen anything like it.
Listen,
then it's very possible that's what. I think I would take it to somebody like Apple and have them help you verify that everything is fine. I also think that what you really want is to make sure that you have a backup of your system, anything that's important to you,
Hmm.
that it hasn't been compromised, that there's backup of the system, and then reset the phone. Just
Yeah,
reset it, and hopefully everything goes back to working the way you
that's
expect it.
what I think needs to be done.
Uh, but as far as looking at somebody else's email or settings changing, that really sounds odd. That the only thing I can imagine in that respect would be this cloning that I know happens with SIM chips. I am not certain how that affects settings and how it behaves. It almost feels like a collection of issues, probably
Hmm.
including being compromised, but not necessarily being related.
Hmm.
Like maybe, I mean, you have been compromised. You've had a bad experience there.
Yeah.
Got something going on, maybe even a glitch with your phone, and at the same time, maybe somehow your email got configured incorrectly. Maybe somebody at one point was trying to help you, got it. I mean, I'm just leaving. I'm talking in generalizations because I'm trying to imagine a scenario that situation.
What about the text that I got yesterday? And when I called it back just to see, because I'm waiting for an appointment from a doctor, and so when you get these emails or texts that come through, you have the phone numbers and whatever. Um,
Sure.
but and sometimes they don't leave messages.
If
Not good about that. So I decided just to touch the number and call them back. And so this it
long,
was a Spanish speaking guy, and he said, "Hola," and I said, "Hola," and he said, uh, "Who is this?" And I said, "Well, I was going to ask you the same question because you texted me my number, but I don't have your number. I don't know who you are, and you called me Jorge." So he was addressing somebody that his name is Jorge, and he, as the dialogue went on, he was doing their landscaping in their yard.
okay,
So
so could he have
that
just misdialed your number?
no, uh-uh,
It-
no,
but this
because
is
because
yeah. You know what, hey, Jen?
this is the third time he's called,
Yeah,
Scott.
Jen. I
Yeah,
don't know what's going on, but there is some things that we preach here at the computer club as far as being compromised, having identity theft, being taken
yeah,
advantage of, and one of those things is we never deal with phone numbers we don't know. I mean, even in the situation you're describing where you're waiting for doctors,
hmm,
yeah, doctors will leave messages. They will.
yes,
And
yes,
and so there is no reason to pick up or answer or refer to a phone number that comes you don't know. And the best thing to do is to let it sit and try and vet that number. And so I know we're not talking about fixing your phone, but this is just general advice just as you're dealing with these situations. Technology's taken over lives.
yeah,
And a good general rule I can tell you is that if I don't know a phone number, I don't answer it. I absolutely don't consider it real until I know it's real. So it doesn't matter what somebody might leave a message or text me a message. What matters to me is whether that's a real phone number or not. And so one of the things, like with your experience there, one of the things I typically will do if I'm unsure of a number is I'll stick it in Google and see what comes back. And sometimes you get this is spam calling from insurance company, because there's
Yeah.
places out there that are registering these numbers with people can leave kind of experience there. And
Mhm.
so to me, that's low effort to find out. And again, if I don't know the number, they're gonna, if it is legitimate, we have so many different forms of communication. They're gonna get back to me. I'm either aware of the number that's coming in and know that I need to vet it as it's coming in. Like say, we will call you this afternoon, Mr. Simpson. And so I'm waiting for a call from a certain area code at a certain time, then I might be picking up that number. But
Yeah.
but there is very very small instances where I would allow myself that kind of. Everyone will.
Yeah.
Every legitimate caller will leave a message where they'll try and call
Yes.
you again
Right.
if you follow my thinking. And so
Yes.
one of the beauties, one of the things I like about chat support, I mean, kind of leading into the same kind of philosophy. Chat support is self-documented, and I love that. I love that about not picking up a phone number. It's self-documented. Now you have the phone number, you have the time somebody was trying to get a hold of. If you are waiting for a call and you're concerned that might be it, you're double checking the area code to see if that's that you. If it's an organization like an optometrist or some doctor, you put that phone number into Google, it's going to come back with the doctor's office. You're like, oh, that was the doctor's office trying to get a hold of me.
How do you put it into Google?
You
Do
just
you just put the number into Google?
yeah, you just type the phone number. I mean, the
Do it on your
cadence of a
computer.
phone number, of course, because you want to kind of nudge Google
Yeah.
into looking for phone numbers. But
Yeah.
more often than not, it'll pop back with some really random occurrences where it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, and that should
Yeah.
make you
Feel
suspicious
better.
right from the beginning. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
right? I mean, it wouldn't be that suspicious if it was my personal number sticking in, and you got almost nothing back. But if you're concerned about the doctor's office, that number is going to pop up, right?
Yeah.
If you stick their number into it's going to pop up as the
It will pop
optometrist.
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Any business, any doctor.
that's right.
Oh,
Any
okay.
legitimate commerce that's happening, it's going to
Right.
reference something. And then
This is
one of
this
the.
is Chuck.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Chester.
sorry.
What's that?
I was going to interject an issue I have and my solution.
Oh, please.
I was on somebody's scam list and I was getting up to 30 phone calls a day, mostly out of Denver, Colorado. And I had my phone set up that the only time my phone would ring was if someone was on my contact list. And now today I only get 3 or 4 calls a day from the Denver area code. And so I've gotten rid of most of it, but by the same token, I only get a ring when it's someone is on my contact list.
You know,
I was going to tell you the same thing that I did the same thing. His grandson did that for both of us.
you know
'Cause we
that's
were getting
that's the
too
way
many
I
calls.
function. My phone is set up exactly the same way, and I preach
Yeah.
that kind of settings.
Yes.
I think that's the way we're living right now. The
Yeah.
silver lining of it is nothing is important anymore,
Yeah.
right? like I still get I get dismayed when people are just looking through their junk mail. I mean, just casually. It's different when you're looking for something that's missing. But
Yes. Oh,
but
yeah.
they're just casually checking it out. And it's like, why would you even do that to yourself? So much noise and so much stuff that's not true.
Recently, I did something else because of sometimes these spam callers would leave a message and I would have a voicemail. So
Right?
now I've shut off my voicemail. I can't hear it anyway, so I just shut off the voicemail.
I can't live without voicemail with both the computer business here in San Carlos and the bed and breakfast up
Right.
in Alaska. I need to be able to get those messages. But I'll
Yes.
say it here and I'll say it to anyone. All my customers now. Basically, I don't answer the phone. You need to leave me a message, and I will determine you're a real person. Then I'll get back to you because I get one inquiry out of 10 solicitations.
Absolutely.
And so there's
Absolutely.
I'm not going to allow myself to get pulled down and it still happens with as much experience as I've had. I grew up, I was one of the first people on the internet. I remember the first junk mail that ever got sent. It still will happen to me occasionally. I will get a message inquiry that I'll be like, oh wow, you want such and such dates soon, and I'll write, and immediately I'll get a response that's like, oh wait, no, I'm about to go into this trap. I can tell right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Well, listen.
and again, I'll say what it's done is it's made nothing important as far as community. Everything needs a secondary source now. Your email
Yeah.
doesn't matter anymore. Your text messages don't matter anymore. And I say that, um, I mean, I say that being funny, but it really is true because nobody expects you to jump right on in,
Anything. Yeah.
and everyone is ready for you to go, well, I think it might have gone to my junk mail because I never got it, right? Or I didn't.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I have your phone number if we're trying to communicate? And after you've vetted that number or that email address, of course, communication flows without any problem. But there's a block, and everybody understands
Yeah.
block. And
Well, Scott, I appreciate all your time and your trouble and whatever, and I apologize to those on your all your people there for taking up so much of your time. But thank you so much.
oh, sure,
And
yeah, no worries. And
yes,
you're welcome with us anytime, Jan.
all right. Well, have a great day.
You too.
I'm gonna go back into doing my work.
All right.
I'm gonna turn the phone off.
So you're talking about Bill was talking about a problem with a laptop, and it reminded me that I've got this laptop that I take person meeting here, and when I got back from Alaska, I think I was having one of those SSD problems. Data will generate if it has no electricity. Some of these SSD drives. Well, and there's something specific about SSD don't get run periodically. That the data can fade, makes it uncomfortably unavailable long-term storage. Think you've got a backup on an SSD drive sitting on the shelf. Here's that data may have. These are problems that we're covering with SSD. And so when I got back from Alaska, the thing would boot once every 4 attempt. And when I got into Windows, it would run like a cold molasses. It's just stiff, and I could easily overwhelm it with commands. You know how you'll click a dozen different things trying to get some kind of response. Obviously stacked up on itself. Probably seen problems. You end up watching a series of side windows stacked just because you've been clicking around trying to get some kind of response. So it was behaving in that kind of manner. at first I took it as an IT experiment. Let's see what I can do. What have I got available to? I fortunately have backups of everything. I finally bit the bullet and bought a bunch of cloud space. Microsoft Hub, so all my research, and so I just kept playing with it, seeing if I was able to get it back. But the tests on it would take forever. And Richard heard that I was messing around with this, and we're getting close to the deadline. In case no one caught it, we're going to be doing starting the 7th of October, so it's got to be ready to go by then. He donated a half a terabyte SSD drive to the cause. So I'm just putting the final touches on building it up for our in-person. Yes, Chester.
I have another question. On my phone, I keep getting messages that my iCloud is going to be shut off because I haven't paid. And I don't want iCloud and I don't intend to pay for it. So if I just let them shut it off, so what?
It only. Oh well, here. Let's see what Bill has to say. Go ahead, Bill.
Oh, I don't. I have a different topic. So go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're in a line.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Chester, have you been paying? I mean, first of all, this is a legitimate message.
No, I have not.
You have not. Okay.
No, it started when my phone was updated automatically.
Okay.
And apparently they're recording everything in the cloud so I can go get it, move pictures. I have
Sure.
maybe
Yeah. In fact, I don't know what update you're on right now. There is that 20 update out. In fact, I was going to ask if anyone on that already. Not the 26th update did not show up for unless I went out look. Not been flagged. So I'm thinking you're probably it's not been flagged as something you update at the moment. Got the software that, but if you were to go into software update as an update.
yeah, mine are automatic.
Yeah, but I don't know if they would have done that one or not. But there are software updates happened. I'm at 8, and if you've one of the concerns would be if you never paid for it, have you all of a sudden has your phone started generating enough data that it exceeded 5 free?
That's what it says. It
Okay.
says that I've exceeded apparently the free space.
Free space. And so that's why you're getting the message consistently. Probably not so much that, but because, and it might have been the fault of the update. The update might have pushed that data limit over 5 gig.
Yeah.
Right? But that's essentially what's going on is you're getting that message because you 5 gigabytes, whatever reason. So you can either manicure that data or start space.
I don't need either.
So if you want to manicure that data, what you would do is you would iCloud and you would choose off the things that are being iCloud. And I can walk you through that. I'm looking at them right now. Good, your phone.
Yeah. I'm going to settings.
Go into settings. There's in the second at the top is iCloud.
Yes, I see my name, Apple account, iCloud, and more.
Okay, so click on iCloud.
Okay. Personal information, payment and shipping, subscriptions, sign in and security.
Now it sounds like we are looking at something different. So go back to settings. Tell me what you see at the very top.
Settings, under that is search, and then my name, and then in small letters, Apple account, comma, iCloud, and more,
Okay.
with an arrow to the right.
Tap your name.
Okay, now it gives my email address, and below that is personal information,
Next group.
which I could. Then next is sign in and security, and next
Go down
is
to the
payment and shipping, and the last one is subscriptions.
following group.
There's no more.
Scroll, is there more?
Yeah, I see iCloud 5 GB.
Okay, so click on iCloud.
Okay, now it says iCloud with my name,
Okay.
storage 20.1 MB of 5 gigabytes.
Oh well, you're not even using it up then. Oh, maybe it's telling you you have that much left. Is it
20,
green?
yeah, must be. It must be. Well, 20.1 megabytes of 5 gigabytes.
That must
And
be
it's, below that, it's upgrade to iCloud Plus, access to premium features, and then
one that says iCloud.
down below is recommended for you 5 equal, and is sync photos to iCloud and 4 more. And then down at the bottom is save to iCloud and see all.
Okay, so the all iCloud,
Yeah.
and below that it says iCloud backup. So in see all, you're gonna see all the applications turned on to iCloud. And the iCloud backup, if that's turned on, that's going to be the biggest going in. If you can continue to run an iCloud backup by turning off things that you don't want, that's the ideal situation.
Okay, I see one. I clicked on that and I see one called Sync This iPhone, and that's on. I can turn that off.
Well, I'm not sure what that is.
And down below that is Manage Storage, and it says 0 KB, which means I have no
Yeah,
kilobyte.
I'm not sure where you are, but what I would do is install under Save to iCloud. What you're looking at is a list of on and off from your iCloud backup.
Okay. Okay, iCloud Photos is off. iCloud Drive is on. Passwords and keychain is off. And Messages is off. Health is on. iCloud Calendar is off. Contacts is on. Reminders is on. Safaris is on. Home, Fitness Wallet, everything.
Yeah, so every one of these represents data being stored into the cloud, but some of it's really nominal data. It's not very much. But this is everything that makes up what's being stored into iCloud.
I don't really want anything stored in iCloud.
Well, I think what you'd have to do is go through and turn every one of these off then.
Okay.
That would be, and then I would also seriously consider whether you're like, see if you can back up. Even if you don't want anything stored in iCloud, able to back up your settings, being able to back up your phone's personality still has value. So if there's still enough room, I would recommend having the backup.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily. I mean, if you want to avoid having to pay for space, then well, basically, before I started paying for space, I used to be backing up my periodically iTunes or a Mac. Do that. You set your phone backups connected, have it collected on your computer, and your response backups. Frustration with all this tech now is that we've just spent a generation of tech. Cloud services much easier for people than locals because they can attach a cha-ching every time you need to use them. They get a few cents every time you do something, metaphorically, and uh, and they haven't spent any time trying to make. So the unfortunate truth of it, Chester, is I can teach you how to do backups of your phone. You don't have backups of your phone if you're not doing backups and you're not using cloud services. Sad truth, normal person, cloud services that's
Okay.
attached to it.
There's nothing there that I want. The only thing that of any value on my phone is the contact list.
I was
And
I oh, I'm sorry, Chester. I would argue for that. Absolutely.
the contact list is the only thing of any value to me.
Yeah. Well, and in other circumstances, I know that you use the rest of your life and use an iPhone
Yeah.
for so like I have a Macintosh World and an iPhone. So I use Apple's password manager. I want to have that synchronized that around. I'm already using Bitwarden to synchronize through all my people and my
Yeah, I don't have that
yeah. You
issue.
don't have a need.
Okay, why don't you move on to Bill?
Bill, what is your topic?
Well, it's a short one. Um, as you probably know, we sold our home in one location and moved to our current location. One of the things I did for the people that were moving in is I left them the Ring camera because we didn't need it, the doorbell camera.
Right.
It's not any use here inside a condo. But I left them printed out the instructions and left them the stuff for them to use it. Well, I got a message from Ring the other day saying somebody is attempting to log on to your Ring device.
Yep, yep.
I figured, oh shit. I just walked away from it, disconnected the internet, and I figured, well, that's it. Then they should be able to do it. So I got onto the Ring site, and deleted out of my Ring account the Ring camera, and I figured, okay, that's good. But then I got a message popped up and said, just because you deleted the device does not mean you canceled your subscription. So I had to go back in and deactivate my subscription, and I got an $8 refund on my subscription. But anyway, it was just a note that you think you've done everything you should, and all of a sudden it says, oh, wait a minute. So I'm sure, and it did say when I deleted the device, it could take up to a week for it to deactivate or reactivate the device.
Disassociate with it.
Right. So but we don't have any direct contact with the people in the new people in our old house. So I get a hold of my real estate agent and say, send these people a message or get a message to them saying that I deactivated, or the Ring camera will be active pretty soon. So within a week. So please don't just throw it away and give up and go buy another one or something.
Yeah, yeah, and I wouldn't worry too much about it, Bill. I dealt with I ended up with a Ring camera at one, sat on a shelf for a long time, and then I finally pulled it out, decided to start and use it, but it was from a different person's account.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole procedure for that, in where you try and activate this camera and it goes, well, this camera is associated with somebody else's account.
Yeah.
So then you go through the motions and saying, well, disassociate this from that account. And then Ring will inform the other account that somebody's trying to disconnect this camera. And it will give them something like 30 to 90 days. I mean, it's a little inconvenient timing of the camera working tomorrow. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if you've got the time to wait 30 days, then it will eventually be available to set up.
yeah.
In my case, it was the account had been abandoned and everything, so I had to wait But I bet in your case, it would have become immediately available because Ring would have sent you an email saying, "Hey, the camera is trying to be a connection
Yeah.
to it." Would have just jumped on it.
Yeah. And that, that's it. It's just that you, in all the things you think you've done, you haven't done everything. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, by the way, we had an Amazon delivery today. I ordered something yesterday. It's a 1-day delivery. It was delivered at 4:27 a.m. This is a new thing from Amazon, and we got a text message at that time saying, "Hey, your package is here."
Right. Did
At
they send
4:27
you a
in the morning.
picture of where to find it?
No, I could not find a picture anywhere. It said has been left in a safe location. Now we live in a condo. Somehow they got past the security part, like got through the security door, and left it on the inside of the security door. So it was somewhat secure. But I just thought this was an interesting thing that Amazon now delivers at 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's
It's different. Anyway, we've had every kind of delivery possible now in at this condo. We've had them leave it in the foyer where the security speakers are. We've had them leave it over by the mailbox in the lobby, which is around the corner. You'd never know it was there until you went for your mail. And we've had them deliver it right to the door. So it varies significantly, the amount of security that they involve. Anyway, your call's done in 2 minutes. I'm done. I got bread to work with.
okay.
And that's it.
I'm starting up the next meeting if you guys want to stay with me.
No,
If
I'm gone.
you're gone.
I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Just before you go,
Oh, wait.
just before you guys go, because I have to go too, because I
Okay.
booked a massage. Just I'm watching. I watched The Girlfriend. Oh my goodness. Be careful.
okay. I wonder what that means.
It's a mini series, like one of those limited series things. And
I saw the promotions, but what do you mean be careful? And you've got under a minute to say it. This has been the San Carlos Computer Club Tech On. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Back on.
either a bride to be or a mother-in-law. Be careful.
All right. See you next week, Scott.
See you guys next week here at the same place, virtual meeting. It'll be our last virtual meeting. Well, no, we'll be doing in-person meetings with a virtual meeting after next. Adios. Bye, Pop. Right, well, Carlos Computer Club, we meet every Tuesday at 10, Sonoran time. So, yeah, join us any day right here. We'll be doing in-person meetings starting October 7th. So next, everybody, check on.